8 signs you had a stroke and might not know it. Don't ignore these signs. We all know that the brain requires blood flow to function, right? So when a blood vessel is blocked in the brain or starts to bleed, you are at risk for severe and potentially permanent damage to the brain or death, if you don't act quickly. And just like with many health problems, the symptoms of a stroke are often misunderstood and thought to be something else. Ladies and gentlemen, you should be very careful, because strokes can cause serious brain damage and, according to the latest statistics, it's the 5th leading cause of death in the US. 8 signs you had a stroke and might not know it. Headaches and migraines. You should be very careful, and if you're experiencing a bad case of migraine or headaches for a longer period of time, then you need to visit your doctor immediately. A sudden onset of fatigue. The experts also warn that an extreme fatigue for a long period of time can also be a sign of stroke, but it is often an overlooked symptom. The American Stroke Association recommends the following fast acronym for recognizing the symptoms of stroke. The acronym stands for F. Face drooping on one side. A. Arm numbness or weakness in one side of the body. S. Speech difficulty. This means that when a stroke occurs, the lack of blood supply to the brain may cause slurred or garbled speech. You may think that you're speaking clearly, but if someone says that your speech is garbled, take the symptom very serious. T. Time is very important. Yes, you should call an ambulance immediately, as this step is often the thin line between life and death. Vision problems in one eye. This is very important for you to remember. Blurred vision or seeing double in one eye is often one of the most overlooked symptoms of a stroke. Confusion and difficulty thinking. And one last thing, when a stroke occurs, the brain needs oxygen and blood, which leads to confusion and inability to speak or think properly. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to share.
No more stroke, hypertension, or Alzheimer's disease thanks to this plant. Olive leaves' incredible medicinal properties have been known since ancient times. They have been used to regulate blood pressure and boost energy levels since ancient Egypt, but have also been used to support the cardiovascular and immune system. Most of the health benefits of the leaves are attributed to a substance known as oleuropenia, which also gives the olives their bitter taste. The substance is present in olive leaves in big amount, and consuming them is the best way to fill your body with oleuropenia. Back in the 19th century, olive leaves were added to drinks that were meant to reduce fever, and a couple of decades later, green olive leaves were used in malaria teas. Thanks to their antibacterial properties, olive leaves extract has been used to treat candida infections, meningitis, influenza, hepatitis B, pneumonia, encephalitis, herpes, common cold, Epstein-Barr virus, herpes I and II, shingles, dengue fever, fatigue, malaria, gonorrhea, tuberculosis, urinary tract infections, diarrhea, HIV/AIDS and ear infections. Olive leaves extract has also been confirmed to protect the heart from coronary problems and protects the blood vessels from damage. Taken over a longer period, the extract has shown that it can reverse atherosclerosis. These benefits led to scientists examining the Mediterranean diet, which contains high concentration of olive oil. Adding the oil to your diet is a great way of improving your overall health. The olive leaves extract can be taken in the form of capsules or oil, but it can also be taken through olive leaves. You can make a tea out of the leaves and drink it, or put a few drops of olive leaves extract directly on your tongue. Here's how to prepare the extract at home. The recipe can be prepared by either fresh or dry leaves. You need about 100 to 150 fresh leaves per liter of water. If you use dried leaves, you need about a third of the amount. Clean the well with baking soda first, then rinse thoroughly. Now, put the leaves to boil in some water, then reduce the heat and simmer the mixture for about 15 minutes. Afterwards, strain the mixture and store the liquid in glass bottles in the fridge. Use. Take a teaspoon of the extract thrice a day with your meals. If the flavor is too strong for you, diluted with a bit of water. The remedy doesn't have any side effects, although it may interfere with some medications. We suggest consulting with a doctor if you have low blood pressure.
Bad sleep can cause heart attack and stroke. Here's how to prevent it. Let's all agree on one thing: sleep is one of the great mysteries of life. Well, we still don't understand exactly why we sleep, although we are learning more about it every day. We do know, however, that good sleep is one of the cornerstones of health. 6 to 8 hours per night seems to be the optimal amount of sleep for most adults, and too much or too little can have adverse effects on your health. Sleep deprivation is such a chronic condition these days that you might not even realize you suffer from it. Science has now established that a sleep deficit can have serious, far-reaching effects on your health. For example, interrupted or impaired sleep can dramatically weaken your immune system, accelerate tumor growth. Tumors grow 2 to 3 times faster in laboratory animals with severe sleep dysfunctions, cause a pre-diabetic state, making you feel hungry even if you've already eaten, which can wreak havoc on your weight. Seriously impair your memory. Even a single night of poor sleep, meaning sleeping only 4 to 6 hours, can impact your ability to think clearly the next day, impair your performance on physical or mental tasks, and decrease your problem-solving ability. The experts also say that sleep is essential for a healthy heart. People who don't sleep enough are at higher risk for cardiovascular disease regardless of age, weight, smoking, and exercise habits. One study that examined data from 3,000 adults over the age of 45 found that those who slept fewer than 6 hours per night were about twice as likely to have a stroke or heart attack as people who slept 6 to 8 hours per night. It's not completely clear why less sleep is detrimental to heart health, but researchers understand that sleeping too little causes disruptions in underlying health conditions and biological processes like glucose metabolism, blood pressure, and inflammation. How to improve your sleep. Useful tips. Keep the temperature in your bedroom no higher than 70 degrees F. Studies show that the optimal room temperature for sleep is quite cool, between 60 to 68 degrees. Get to bed as early as possible. Your body does a majority of its recharging between the hours of 11 p.m. and 1 a.m. Go to the bathroom right before bed. This will reduce the chances that you'll wake up to go in the middle of the night. Eat a high-protein snack several hours before bed. This can provide the L-tryptophan needed for your melatonin and serotonin production. Also eat a small piece of fruit. This can help the tryptophan cross your blood-brain barrier.